Hi again, it's Ingrid here again, and I would like to show you another little foodie tutorial. We did our croissants just now, and now I think what I'm going to do is a fun donut. You can see with these light colors it does tend to pick up quite a lot of dirt and everything. It's not advisable, but you know, these things happen. What can you do? So try not to, but if you do pick up dirt, it's also not the end of the world, specifically when it comes to these food things. I'm going to do this on a tile again so that I can show it close to the screen. First thing, you're going to roll it into a little ball and then just squish it down a little bit. Then you're going to take your ball tool and make a hole going through. Now another thing as well, what I do for my ball tool is I like to use these doughnut they're actually dot tools, and I use these are fantastic when it comes to playing with polymer clay, so a good investment to make, because they're also different sizes as well, so it really is very handy, very handy tool. So we'll use those and make a little hole. Doesn't have to go all the way through. Depends, of course, on what you want to use this for. If you want to make a small one for earrings, that type of thing that you're going to see both sides, then you should do it all the way through. Okay, so make your hole as big as you want it, just by kind of pushing it out as you go along. Okie dokes. Now we're going to take a toothpick and we're going to make some textures. It doesn't have to be too deep, because if you think about what a donut texture is, it's not like crumbs like a cake, so it's kind of more like indentations that you want to make. So instead of going in like that, you want to do it at an angle, just to give it a bit of texture. These things always take so long. You'll do it a lot slower than this with more care, I hope. But I'm just doing it quickly so that you can get an idea. Okay, another thing you can do as well is you can use your little hog hair brush, which you're going to still use later, and that also gives you some very nice depth and texture. Okay, so keep working till you're happy with it. I'm going to just leave it at this point. In fact, I've decided I'm going to take out the center. I think it'll look better. I'm just using my ball tool just to cut it. You can use a knife if you want to, or if you've got a straw that's the right size, you can just cut it with that. So let's just clean it up in the middle. I think that's going to look a lot better. I'm just cleaning the inside so that it's not so messy. Of course, now I have to do all my textures over again. Oopsie. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab you can use even some sandpaper. I thought I had some, but I don't have any sandpaper on me right now, but you can use some sandpaper to do some textures. You can use some steel wool as well, just make it go a little bit faster. And then if you're pushing it down and you're losing its height, just go from the edges and push it in again so you get your more height again. Right, left, right again. Okay. Basically anything that has a nice rough texture, even a scrubbing sponge, you can use that as well, just to give you some nice texture. Okay, we're back on track. Okie dokes. So again, now we want to do some shading on this. You can use your chalk pastels, beautiful selection of colors in the chalk pastels. You can also use makeup. I'm going to use my chalk pastels, and I'm going to use my 3 colors that I do particularly like to make our shading. So with a donut, you normally find, I'm going to quickly pre-grate these. These are good 3 colors to start with. It's your highlights, your main color, and your shading. So with your donut, you normally in the center of the donut, there's normally a line here that is quite a bit lighter than everywhere else. So I try not to put too much color there. I'm going to just use my highlighting color for that. And again, I'm using my hog hair brush. I find that the hog hair brush, because the bristles are so nice and hard, you can also kind of manipulate your piece while you're busy painting it. So it's a two for the price of one. I'm going to do the inside as well. Okay, now go with my slightly darker one. And again, just go very lightly, very, very lightly, because you don't want to have a problem with too much color. You can layering is a lot easier than removing. Okie dokes. And then just where the oven caught it a little bit too much, do some slightly darker ones. And you can do this as well if you can imagine to do like a pizza. You can do your crust like this as well. That looks really cool when you do a pizza. Okay, so there's your base of your donut. Then you can decide if you want to decorate it still with other colors or what you want to do. So let's pop that on one side. And I think what I'll do is maybe do a chocolate strands going over it. So take your brown, just take a little piece of the brown off and make a skinny worm. And then we're going to take that. You're going to find it doesn't like to stick very nicely once you've done your pastel or mica, whatever you want to do. The clay doesn't like to work over that, so you're going to have to kind of manipulate it quite a bit. Just to make sure that it will stay. And then also in the baking process it should stick it nicely as well. Do just a couple more on the sides. And there you go. It's your little donut. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you again.